Okay, this is the last part of our review, and I want to show you, just depending on the form, what easy things we know. So this right here is a vertex form, and so what we can find really easily is the vertex. Okay, so the vertex, -2, that's always the opposite, and this is the same, is -4. So without any work, I can figure out the vertex. The axis of symmetry is always the x value of the vertex. So x equals -2. And we need to write it like that, x equals -2, because it's a line, right? Wherever the axis of symmetry is, that's a line. The domain. So I'm not going to graph these things. I'm just going to talk about a few things that I know. I know that this vertex is here. I know that it's a smiley face. Okay, so my domain, which for almost all of these, except for like a weird word problem, or if it has arrows on the ends, the domain is going to be all real numbers. Okay, so for range, that's up and down. Okay, so I'm going to put my y, I just automatically put my y. Now, what's the lowest point? Well, it's the y of the vertex. So then I have -4. And I know this whole thing, if that's -4, it's on top of the -4. So y is greater than -4, and I know it's going to open up. So this is not the actual graph. This is just like a little, idea for me to be able to answer those questions. Okay, let's look at this one. This one is an intercept form. So what I know really easily is the intercepts, the x-intercepts, sorry. They're called the roots, the zeros, or the solutions, or x-intercepts. So I know that it's, I would say, x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals -2. And then the same reason I know x is 8. So my zeros are -2 and 8. All right. I know that the vertex, so to find the vertex, you can do this two different ways. You can either say to yourself, okay, the 0 is -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8, what is smack dab in between? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1. So this is going to be right in between, 1, 2, 3, which is 3. Okay, or you can do P plus Q over 2. P is -2. I change those, right? This is 8 plus 8 over 2. So that's 6 over 2, which was 3. So see, we got the same answer either way. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 3, and remember that's the x of the vertex. Now I have to take this number and plug it in. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 minus 8 is -5. And now I'm going to multiply those. -2 times 5 is -10. -10 times -5 is +50. Now I feel like I did that quick, so I'm going to double check this. -25 times -2, yes. Okay, so really quickly, I have this picture. I know that it goes through, let me go back down here. I know that it is a frowny face, so it's going to look, something like that, maybe skinnier, maybe not. I don't really care that much for this. The domain, like I said, it's going to be all real numbers. Okay, and the range, I put the y, and I'm going to put a 50. And now this whole, because I'm looking at the y of the vertex, this whole picture is below it, so y is less than or equal to. Oops, I forgot to put equal to over here on the range. It should say equals here. Okay, so now in standard form. We don't love standard form because there's not a whole lot of good stuff we can see really quickly. Like we could answer a lot of questions from that. Okay, so here we have the y-intercept is always just c. So a lot of times if you're jumping off of a, diving board, or you're throwing something off of a roof, then the height of that, the original height, is going to be right here. To find the vertex, this you're going to have to remember is -b over 2a. Remember, if it's in standard form, that is a, that is b, and that is c. So -16 over 2 times 2. All right, so -16 over 4, which equals -4. So -4 is the x. Now, this is what I don't like about standard form, is it's like I have to, I'm getting so old, I have to remember all this stuff, and so then I have to write it down. So I'm going to plug -4 into here. Now, -4 squared is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. Plug -4 into 16. I'm doing this off to the side. So 16 times -4 is negative 64 plus 4. So I'm going to add 4, add 32, and I get negative 28, okay? The axis of symmetry is the x value, so x equals negative 4. The domain, all right, so the domain, well, I don't have a word problem or something weird, so I'm going to put all real numbers. Now the range I have to think about. So here's the picture. Here is this function, and I know that it's a smiley face. So the vertex is at way down here, and I know it's going to be a smiley face. So I'm going to put y and my y value, and this is above it, so it's greater than or equal to negative 28. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Good luck.